the past couple of days we brought Calvin Ramsay into the building. How excited are you about that signing?
Yeah, very much so. Obviously, he was always a young, talented prospect. From my time at Aberdeen, he had him training with us at the first team level as soon as he became full time. He was one that we always thought had a big reach, one that we thought had the capabilities to be a first team player and go and have a good career. Obviously, after I left Aberdeen, he went on to get a really strong move to Liverpool. I think Liverpool are a brilliant club, and well, honestly, it's not went as well as he would have expected, or Liverpool. And I think if you look at it forensically, there's a lot of different reasons for that. What we feel and what Liverpool feel at this moment in time is that he needs to be working with somebody who knows. I think they want to get back to basics and just try to get a really successful loan, and it's all part of the learning curve for Calvin. I think if you actually strip it back and trying to what we're actually getting is we're getting a really attacking, raiding right back, a lot of pace, a lot of quality, a lot of confidence, and hopefully we can get that boy and find that boy that we know is in there. And what Calvin gets for it is hopefully going back to Liverpool in the summer on the back of playing a lot of games in the Premier League. Have enjoyed the loan spell and I've been reminded himself how good he is. I mean, he became a Scotland internationalist. He's experienced some highs at Liverpool, but the majority of times been a bit of a tough time for him. So we just want him to come and not overthink it, just come and enjoy it, help us in our challenges this season. And to get him, it's no easy. It's no easy getting players. It's there's a lot of work goes into it. We had to overcome a lot of other interest as well, but thankfully Calvin landed on the fact that he thought we were the right option for him at this time, and now we run with it, and hopefully it's a successful time for him and us.
The fact that you knew him well, did you have discussions with him that you feel helped manage to get him to Kilmarnock rather than choose other options?
Well, I don't think it does any harm, but I don't think we can always hang your hat on that. I think we've got a strong relationship with Liverpool, as you know. Once we'd kind of reached an agreement with Liverpool, we had permission to speak to Calvin. Use everything you've got to try and convince and sell your club and sell the opportunity that's there. And and I think obviously we weren't the only show in town, and Calvin had a few things to consider. But thankfully, when I took the call on Saturday, he was keen to get here and join us.
He's had 3 loan spells previously out at Liverpool. Are you quite confident that if you can get him a run of games, keep him fit in this second half of the season, that he'll be able to show the form that he did that got him his move to Liverpool? Yeah,
I said I'm not put off by that. The fact is that as soon as we knew he was available, we wanted to try and bring him here. So we were kind of looking for that profile, that type. And the fact of the matter is, we know that his reach is so high if he can get to his level. So we've got to try and be understanding of where he's been at. But equally, we're in a rush to try and get him to what he's capable of. And good conversations with Calvin. He's, I see a difference in him, even speaking to him, his maturity. He's filled out, looks a bit more stronger and a bit more capable on that side of it. But underneath it all, still a very, very talented player that people at Liverpool don't make mistakes. They do their work. They've spent a lot of money and they believe in him. But equally, it's up to us now to try and help him. But he's got to try and help us as well at the same time.
How busy are you expected to be elsewhere?
Well, you hope. We would like to, obviously. I think I spoke to you guys sometimes the January window. You maybe head into the January window thinking we could do with this and we could do with that. And then injuries can dictate what you actually have to try and address. We've got 2 long-term injuries at number 9 with McInnes and Kyle. We've still got a long-term injury with Stuart Finlay being out. So I think getting into the window, we're probably looking at maybe more centre-back cover. And certainly as we are now, we're a bit short at number 9 and that type of striker. So I've said this often enough. I think I've been involved in so many transfer windows, and every one of them I've been looking for a striker. So you're pleased to know I'm still looking for a striker.
How difficult is it when you know that's what you need and other clubs know that's what you need?
Well, every club's looking for the same. 5s and 9s are so hard to get, and you always try, and when you have good strikers, and you try and do your best to keep them for that reason. The January window is traditionally hard to get exactly what you want. You know, I feel so even the top clubs, even clubs with lots of cash to spend, you know, some clubs have got capabilities, they go into a window and they need to address it. And when you see Aberdeen, when windows came at a good time, they've managed to really support the manager and get some good signings in. Some clubs go into a window knowing that they've got to just deal with what they've got to deal with. We would like to try and bring in one or two if we could. If we had good discussions with the board about that, you know, and we've got to try and see if that is an avenue we can try and bring somebody in. Sometimes you can't always bring better to your club, that's just the fact. But if you can't bring better, bring something different, and we might try and look to try and go down that avenue if we can.
Just on the match then, did you watch last night? Did Tony give you a blueprint as to how you get at this Celtic defence?
You know, I think, I thought uncharacteristic, I thought Celtic didn't have the same confidence with our defensive work, which is unusual for them because normally they've been pretty solid, but it was a hell of a game. You know, it was a brilliant game, you know, and I think Dundee deserve a lot of credit for that. You know, to try and breach that Celtic defence 3 times, I thought they countered well. I thought they used their physicality at set plays, none more so than the third goal well. And clubs like ourselves, we've got to try and use everything we've got just to try and upset the momentum of that, you know, and be solid enough and be confident enough to play within a shape. You know, and I think, as I say, sometimes it's a different game when you play at Celtic Park. We've seen evidence even here. We've beaten Celtic twice last year. We're doing a lot of things right. We created so many chances against them here, and we probably should have won the game here a couple of months ago. And going to Celtic Park, as I say, it's always a wee bit more of a challenge for clubs like ourselves, but it's a cup tie. We'll try and have a wrestle with them and try and do what we can to make the game the type of game that we want it to be, and try to stay in the game and try to be concentrated to get through a cup tie, because come Saturday evening you're either in the cup or you're out of the cup, and we've got to make sure we try and stay in the cup as long as we can. We get dealt such a tough hand when the draw was made. You know, I think you always want a home tie, but you certainly don't want an away tie at Celtic Park. But at the same token, it's an exciting tie for the players and ourselves to go and have a go at it.
Given that you've beaten Celtic and Rangers a fair bit recently, there's no reason you can't go to Celtic Park and get through that tie, is there?
No, we're a Premier League club. We're the 4th best team in Scotland last season. Obviously, we've still got work to do to try and be something similar this season, but a lot of the same players that will be playing on Saturday, I know we've got some injuries, but a lot of the same players played a big part in these victories. And you know, I remember my first year at Aberdeen, we went to Celtic Park in the Scottish Cup, and we managed to beat a strongly fancied Celtic team as well. It wouldn't be the biggest shock in the world. It would be a shock, there's no doubt about it, and I'm sure you guys would say that, but it wouldn't be the biggest shock if we can go there and pull off a victory. So we go there hopefully confident with what I think we've been far better with our defensive work recently, and that's going to be tested on Saturday. We're on the back of what I thought was a brilliant performance. Although we never won the game against Motherwell, I thought we were so good in the game. And although we're getting a few injuries and a few challenges at the minute and a few issues we need to contend with, you know, we still feel that there's a capability within the squad to go and try and win a cup tie.
I think I was at your game last year when you drew 1-1 there. Is that the kind of template that you're looking for? Because you have shown that you can go there and, you know, get through the game no problem.
Yeah, I think although we never won at Celtic Park last season, that game and another game last season, I thought we were good in the game. It was close and it was pretty tight. Celtic have got great attacking options, and obviously Kuhn coming on has an impact yesterday. He gets the penalty kick with his involvement. He was on the pitch he was only on the pitch a short time. So they have got talented players that they can call upon. But we have to try and negate that as best we can. I think I'm always interested to see how managers set up and throughout the season, particularly at Celtic Park, when teams go to Celtic Park. I'm always curious to how teams deal with Celtic's capabilities. But we've got to try and stick to what we think has worked for us a lot of time, and what suits us with the players we have available. So we will try and be the team that we're capable of being ourselves. Yeah.
Can Calvin Ramsay go straight in, and is there any other significant team news?
Yeah, Calvin's available. Team news, we've got 1 or 2 knocks. We've still got a long-term injury to Stuart Finlay, which will be back end of March. Kyle Vassell is out for 2 months as well. He's tore a ligament, and his Cameron's out with a torn hamstring after the game against County here. And Matty Kennedy's still not available, but we hope Matty's back into training next week and available for Hearts. So I think that's us, Kennedy. Yeah.
And would you have no problem putting Calvin straight in for?
Yeah.
He's ready at 11.
He's here and available. Yeah, he's obviously there's an understanding that he's not been playing a lot of games of late, but if he had been, he wouldn't be here. So it's sometimes players just need to get fit through playing games. So he certainly comes into contention. Aye.